Hi, it's Shola here from Speak Up Like a Diva, Speak Up and Shine. And today I want to talk about whether or not it helps you get speaking gigs if you have your own book. So a couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine who's also an amazing productivity coach and someone I network with contacted me and asked me, well, Shola, I'm thinking of writing a book. Has it helped you with your business? And indeed, it's a question I get quite a lot. I remember another person asking me about this about a month ago. So I thought I'd make a quick video and just talk about my experiences of having a book and how it's impacted my business. So probably about a year and a half ago, I wrote this book, How to Be a Diva at Public Speaking. And since then, I've actually written a second book, which hasn't yet been released. So I guess the answer's there, isn't it? If I would go as far as to write two books, then it sounds pretty clear that it does make sense to have a book. But I want to go into a bit more detail about why it makes sense. Now, there are three main reasons I want to give you, and there are probably many more, but I'll give you my top three. And the first one is that it adds to your credibility. Now, most people understand that these days, writing books isn't necessarily in and of itself a way to generate income. I have a friend who works in publishing and she begs to differ. And she always talks about, never give your book away. You should be selling it. It's a great source of income. But for most of us, the reason we write a book is not because we're hoping to make millions from selling a book that's perhaps generating £3 a copy for us, when we sell it on Amazon, but it's for other reasons. And the first one is credibility, because once you have a book out there, it gives you a little bit of an extra stamp of credibility, of believability, and it positions you as an expert. And I know that everybody's being told to write a book these days, and if everybody has a book, then it's unlikely that everybody is an expert. But still, not everybody does have a book, and so having a book will give you the slight edge, possibly over somebody who doesn't have one. And I know personally that when I've been reaching out for speaking opportunities, being able to say I'm the author of a book has sometimes tipped the scales in my favour, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in my next point. So most certainly for credibility, to give you that little edge over the next person who does what you do, having a book certainly cannot harm you. Okay, I think it can only be a good thing, and it has been for me. Now, the second reason why it's good to have a book is because it can be a bit of a pot sweetener. And what do I mean by that? Well, if somebody wants to, or potentially is looking at taking you on to speak at their event, or even to do a paid speaking opportunity for them, sometimes it helps to have a few more bits to sprinkle into the pot, into the meal, so that they're more likely to take you on. And let me give you a specific example. So just recently I was approached by a multinational company to run an event and do some speaking on their behalf. And I could tell that they approached me, so they were quite keen, but there were a few sticking points. And so I thought to myself, well, what more can I offer them to show them that I'm really keen on getting this opportunity? And so the first thing I did is thought, well, I could offer them my book at cost price. And so that way they can actually use that as a giveaway to all of their audience members. And it's something really tangible. Not the Kindle version, I was talking about the print version. It's something tangible that they can put in a goodie bag, or that they can, leave people with. That's a real, okay, I've got a book from this. It's not going to end after this hour-long workshop or this one day. I can keep reading this book and I can keep learning from it and keep applying it. So that was something that I offered to them. And it turned out that because of budgets, etc., and because of approval process, because corporates often take a lot longer to make decisions than just a small business or a single entrepreneur. So what I ended up doing is saying to them, well, okay, you can have PDF copies of the book, and you can email them to your attendees, and I'll give them to you as part of the deal. And there's no cost to me. Okay, great. I could have sold a few more books if I was selling them at cost price, the sort of headline price. But if I was really offering them to this company at no cost or sort of no profit to me, then it's pretty easy for me to take the next step and say, well, hey, take the book, have the electronic version for free. It doesn't cost me anything, but it could be enough to get me the opportunity. So that's where it can sweeten the pot. Also, if you're speaking at an event, okay, as you said, selling books for most of us isn't a major money spinner. But nevertheless, you can make a little bit of extra money if you're speaking at an event and you sell your books, and you can sign them as well. And the fact that you sign the book makes it extra special for the person that you're doing it for. And it's quite funny because I always forget to sign books. So I was at an event this week and people were buying the book, and there were two ladies either side of me saying, oh, would you like me to sign the book? And I just completely forgot. But yeah, it is a bit extra special for people when the book is signed by the author. And then the final reason, but as I say, there are many more, so I might give you another one. I'll try and stick to the rule of three, but hey, sometimes it slips. So the third reason, at least, is that it gives you a source of content to use for blog posts, for doing your social media posts, and more. And that content might well be in your head if you haven't got a book, but once you've got a book, it's all ordered very nicely. So you can think, well, what am I going to talk about for this week's blog? Oh, and then you flip through the book, something pops out at you, and boom, you've got your content right there. And in fact, I don't have the link for it, but there's a great piece somewhere on the internet, which is how you can use your book to provide you with a year's worth of content, and how you can keep reusing certain parts of it, generating it in different ways. So, for example, on video, using it in audio, using it for sound bites and things, using it for social media posts. So the fact that you've got all your sort of your IP together in one place makes it so much easier for you to be organized around putting your content out there in the world. So that's it. Those are my three reasons. And the first one is that having a book gives you credibility. The second one is that it's a pot sweetener, potentially. It's something else that you can offer if somebody wants to hire you for speaking or to have you speak to their group maybe for free. It's something else to offer. And in fact, when you're speaking, you can sell some of those books. So it's an extra way to generate a bit of revenue if it's possible to sell the books. And then also it's a great way of organising all the thoughts in your head so that you have them all down in one place, and it's very easy for you to get out there with your content. Now, in terms of how do you go about writing a book? Well, I mean, that could be a book in itself or a long course. But just to give you a few pointers, a book that's really helpful for writing a book is by Chandler Bolt, and that book is called Published. And it's a great way to just have a read and see what it entails to write a book and get it out there. So if you're curious at all, that book is available on Amazon, it's on Kindle. I'm not being paid to promote it, but I did work with Chandler Bolt and his self-publishing community in the USA, and I found that was incredibly supportive when I was writing the first book especially. The second book, I already kind of had an idea of how it should happen, so it was less useful then, but it's a really, really supportive group if you are thinking of writing a book. Also, there are tons of coaches out there who will work with you one-to-one or enroll you in a group program, as I worked with Chandler Bolt and his group, and so you can use them to help you if you need a bit of a push. Some of us are, or some people are motivated enough that they can get up for an hour earlier for a month or two, or they can take themselves off for a weekend, or just lock the door and get on with writing the book. Other people need a bit more support. So don't be concerned if you're one of those people who does need extra support, whether that's in the form of a carrot, some kind of really nice incentive to make you write, or if it's a stick, so somebody has to kind of moan at you or, threaten to beat you to make you write. Whatever it is, If you are curious about writing a book and you're wondering whether it's useful to you, then I would most definitely say yes, go for it. So my call to action this video is, why not have a look at my book, How to be a Diva at Public Speaking. Oh, shameless self-promotion, but I'll put the link below. So just in case you're interested in taking a look, it's available on Kindle, it's available in print. And if you're not interested in the book, not to worry. I think I do have a freebie somewhere where you can even download a chapter and just have a look at it at no expense to you. So that's it from me. Should you write a book? I say yes, if it makes sense for your business and for your credibility. So that's it. Stop watching this video now. Go and start writing your book. Take care. Bye.